We are talking about Newcastle, who are flying high in the Premier League, and many a player and many a fan will tell you what the atmosphere is like at St James's Park. But Shaka, what is it like to actually be one of the players playing there in front of that home crowd?
It was an incredible atmosphere, like nothing I'd experienced before. I still remember the first time we went behind at St James's Park. I'm pretty sure it was Leeds. We conceded against Leeds, and I don't think I'd heard a roar like it ever before. Well, I certainly never heard one like it before. I don't think I'd heard one since. That's when the St James's Park crowd are at their best. When you suddenly find yourself behind. We came back and we won. 2-1, I think was the scoreline, but if memory serves correctly, it was a lot easier than that scoreline suggested. But it just kind of spoke to the atmosphere, and it spoke to the role that St James's Park crowd where we're going to play. And keep in mind that at the time, I think capacity was somewhere between 35 and 37,000. Now it's up to 55, so probably even a little bit louder now.
It's funny to think of playing at Newcastle, because even before they had the big stadium, and they still had the 35, and now they've got probably nearly double that. I've always remembered when the whistle goes. You know, when you go to different grounds and the whistle goes, you kind of hear a clap and a, oh, come on, you know, one of those. But when the whistle goes, the referee starts the game at St James's Park, there's just like this eruption. It's just...
Yeah.
It's like... You know when the planes fly over? It's like that. There's just this roar that just goes straight through you. Fantastic. I just always remember it when I think about Newcastle.
Well, one of the other things, not just in James's Park, but a lot of the older stadiums, they were a lot closer to the pitches, you know, 30 years ago than they are now. And trust me, that 10 or 12 feet or whatever it is makes such a difference when the crowd is right on top of you. And then to have a crowd in the numbers with the noise at St James's Park brought every single home. I mean, it was a 10-year waiting list for season tickets at Newcastle at the time. So there was not a game that was not completely sold out. Every single game was completely sold out, and every fan turned their volume up as high as it could go.
Jan, what was it like to go there as a local rival?
Well, I've been there with 3 different teams, and going there, I can't remember I won there any time, but I was there now this weekend, and I tell you, I mean, against Manchester United, the atmosphere was fantastic, and it was a fantastic atmosphere when I came there with Borough as well. We lost, unfortunately. I've been the one scoring. I scored with Barnsley there. Of course, Shearer got 2-1 at the end, as he always did. I went there with Swindon Town, and we lost 7-1, and that is one of the most famous bus trip I've ever had, when we lost 7-1, and our captain said, well, Andy Cole didn't score, and I turned around and said, well, every other Newcastle player scored. So there was when the goals get tough at Newcastle, it was hard for weaker teams to hold against it, because like the shirts, it's an army of shirts. I mean, there are black and white shirts everywhere, every age. It's fantastic.
Yeah, and sometimes there are no shirts. Just NUFC written across it in December in freezing temperatures.
The one thing I think a lot of people forget about Newcastle fans as well, you know, we talk about respect. Newcastle fans respect good football teams.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.